Another reforestation project earning carbon credits with the Biocarbon Fund is in Nanning in China. In less than 50 years, an area the size of Greenland has been turned to desert in China. Forested watersheds have been stripped of vegetation. The impact is not just on the global climate, but more immediately on the local environment.
What we're trying to do is also bring projects that are very beneficial to local communities and the local environment. For example, projects that will reforest degraded watersheds that capture water and control hydrological flows. Projects that will create alternative sources of income for communities from agroforestry.
The planting and management of 4,000 hectares of mixed forest is also planned to provide income through carbon credits.
The objective of this project is to store carbon in this plantation over the course of 30 years. Local people will get more than $2 million through this project. The local people can also benefit through timber. The plantation will establish corridors to protect the wildlife in the area and reduce soil and water erosion. The other objective is that the people can be trained in local technologies.
Of the 4 species of tree used, only eucalyptus is not native. It's included because, as a fast grower, it can provide income more quickly for local people.
This project is good because it will not only bring timber money, but also money from the carbon trade.
I know that the forest can conserve water. If we cut all the trees down, there will be no more water available.
The Biocarbon Fund is designed to benefit poor rural communities with cash and the restoration of a more robust and diverse environment. Its priority is to support schemes with the best potential for locking in CO2 in the wood. But such schemes have their critics. Their concerns revolve around the uncertainty about precisely how forests affect the carbon cycle. And that means there is scepticism about how much these projects contribute to tackling climate change.
The thing is, with any kind of forest-based projects, our knowledge of the carbon cycle is incredibly limited. And the fact is, it's impossible to be quantifying what the net impact is on carbon dioxide of forestry and plantations. So it's impossible to say of any particular area of forest how much carbon dioxide it's absorbing. There's kind of study after study coming out in journals like Nature, which are kind of reflecting this uncertainty in the science community. So it's just not possible with kind of forestry projects to say what the net impact that is on climate change.
I think the tree planting and the reforestry project will be definitely a good project in the CDM. Actually, it is a starting point due to the technical barrier, like the method of quantification of CO2. The experts have not reached agreement of how to develop forestry project under the CDM, but fortunately, I think recently there are several forestry-related methodology approved. So they have already made the first successful step.
These planted forests in temperate regions can store up to 400 tons of carbon per hectare. But mature tropical forests can store much more, an estimated 50% more than its more northerly counterpart. However, protecting existing forests, known in the jargon as avoided deforestation, was left out of the Kyoto Agreement. So, under the CDM, there's no money to reward a country for conserving these CO2 storehouses. And this is the biggest storehouse of them all, the Amazon forest. But for the last 20 years, roughly 20,000 square kilometres of Amazon forest have been burnt every dry season. The annual destruction releases around 200 million tonnes of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, making Brazil one of the world's top 10 polluters. After the break, we look at proposals from Brazil and other forested nations for financial incentives to conserve their existing forests.